Hey, weird war weirdos. What's going on, everyone? I thought I'd jump in and uh, do some uh, do some hobbying for an hour before I go to bed. My bedtime is 10 for about an hour and 10 minutes before that. Let me jump in here and link this to a couple other places, and we'll just get moving going down. Fellow weird war weirdos. Yeah, me and Mel, we other than working, we've actually been doing some gaming, which was some we in my resin. I've been just just print. It's cool because like so I made like shit almost like it's probably almost 200 plates, maybe not 200, maybe hundreds of plates, just various shit, right? And oh, it's great. I'm just like, what was that? I didn't even know I had that going on. I don't remember making this deal that shit. So it's like a surprise because on the printer on the actual printer it gives you kind of like it's like a small picture of what you're about to print. But I just so on these plate when I refer to the plate I mean the plate of the actual like printer. That's what you can fit on it, right? Whatever you can fit on it is what it can print on the plate. So I would just fucking hammer full of tons of shit. So but yeah, so I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot I had that. Oh yeah, I forgot I found that. Yeah, that's cool. So, but yeah, that's what I've been doing. But yeah, other than that, just working. Been cleaning up this Reverend stuff. Um, just the latest one I did here. This will be kind of like a sneak peek into the next shit on my table. So don't tell anybody. I found uh, I found like a bear. He's carrying like a crate, right? The bear carrying a crate. And I'm gonna make this that. There's a story of this. There's a Polish bear during World War II. It's like a trained circus bear or some shit, and he was actually working for the military. He was like, I mean, it was probably more a PR stunt, right? But he was like carrying crates and stuff to the front or whatever, you know. But shit, this is weird World War II, folks. That means we can make this guy like one of many or just one. I might if I don't make him Polish, I might make him Soviet. Maybe I'll print up like a couple of these, like several. So it'd be like the Bear Core, like munitions core, some shit like that. And then I found the guy who did that. The guy who did that STL also did this one. I just pulled these off the plate, so they still got some supports. The support on the 3D printer is basically like the screw on it. So really easy to pop off, but you got to do it. Sometimes sometimes they're in tricky spots, and you got to be careful because before you cure the resin, right, it's still kind of soft. So if you pull off a support, like for some reason my slicer software puts fucking puts those those supports like on faces, right? And like, I can understand it if it was like, 120 millimeter mini or something. But dude, a 28 millimeter with like three faces, like three supports on its face, it's almost impossible to get it off without jacking up the face. So usually I try to go in and delete those supports but I don't catch them all because there's like hundreds of supports, and normally you can just here's the one I'm working on. You can just basically break it off of the supports, and they just kind of pop off. But you know, when it's like real fine, delicate detail, it could like break. And again, the resin's kind of soft now when it's hadn't matured yet. So this is a weird. This is like I guess the Soviets, one of their mascots during the the 80s and 70s was like a bear breaking open the atom or something like this. I guess that's what this is. I don't know. I don't know what else to use this for. It's a cool model. It's just like a bear and then like like the atom structure is breaking open the atom. Then we got this is the chick from yeah, what's her name? Tiki, what's up, dude? Long time, man. I was actually on your page today, dude. I was looking. There's another guy. Oh man, I can't remember his damn name. No, I'm thinking of it. Attention Span Labs. I was over at his site just checking out. He has like all of his channels that are all the other channels I listen he has. And I saw that you were on there, and I jumped on your site. Saw that you did another like music like compilation. I need to. I haven't watched the second one. I have to check out the second one. Are you digging the new show, the Fallout show? I hear like people who don't know anything about it like it a lot. And I'm not I the only Fallout I ever played was the original, like the PC game, the Fallout 1, like in the what 90s or that's the last one I played. But but I heard the people who don't really know anything about it like it. I wonder if those that are like diehards, do you guys is it pretty good? Pretty good. That's cool. The guy that has like the no nose or whatever. I love that actor. He used to be in a show called Justified. I'm not a big cop guy, and I don't really like watching cop shows. But that was a good. He was like the friend, like like lifelong friend of the main character was pretty good. He's a good actor. Oh shit, yeah, it could have been a hell of a man. Yeah, that's an understatement, brother. Yeah, Justified's great. Great dialogue. You know, I'm from down south, right? I'm not deep south. Like they were in like what Kentucky or Tennessee or something. I'm Texas, so that's not that's not too deep. It's more like I don't know. Texas is in the middle. We're like Midwest, and we're the South, and we're like Central. We're kind of stuck in there. We done cool together. Yeah, yeah. But I love the dialogue in that show. Just the Kentucky. Uh, just all the slang and stuff, the law dog, all that kind of shit. That's awesome. I really enjoyed that show. I know they came out with like a new one. Like he went to the city or some shit. It's like Ernest goes to the city, or no, yeah, Ernest. Remember from I don't know. You're pretty young, but Dukes of Hazzard. There was a deputy on there, Ernest, and they did a spin-off show for like a season where he goes to like to New York or L.A. or some shit. It kind of what it reminded me of. He goes to the big city, deal with all them big city problems. Oh, that's right. That's right. You told me that. Galveston, man. Woo, man, I'm sure. Well, you're over in. I think you're in. What you're in Florida now or some shit. So it's been humid as hell down here lately. Woo. I got my window open because I'm printing and I got the the air cycling through, but it is humid as hell in this room. Jeez, it is bad, bad, bad. But yeah, yeah, same climate. Yeah, Florida. Geez, it's probably worse down there. Shit. You get the one thing you don't have is the heat. When it gets hot in Florida, don't get me wrong. And you got that damn humidity. That's man, the, the wet heat is a hell of a lot worse than dry heat, in my opinion. Good old lord, that humidity heat will just kill you. Just suck the energy soul right at you. It's bad. Yeah, I've been like I was saying, I've been like printing a whole bunch of shit. It's like all this surprise stuff. But you guys recognize this. This is old school. If you figured this out, you get a Weird World War II no prize. Okay, there's two of them, just so you can like. This is like 1960s classic fun. Oh, I tell you, man, these these guys and girls who do all this STL shit are fantastic. It's like they're making everything and anything, right? I mean, I saw the HR Puffin Stuff crew on an STL. I've seen like the banana splits, then they're on their doom buggies. I've seen so much awesome stuff, dude. It's so cool that people are able to do this. It's so cool. Yeah, I got a whole table full of shit. But yeah, it's pretty fun. I love I've got an adult sense of humor, right? So like, and then like they'll do like all these like STLs like Star Wars, Lord of the Rings and shit. It's fucking great. Ah, that's funny stuff. Funny stuff. Good stuff. But yeah, you got any gaming in lately? I want to say you and you hit your crew. You guys have another channel, right? You guys like kind of do like a live show. If you guys don't know who I'm talking to Tiki the Hut. I go check out his let me see if I can what is this? Is this just like the conversation? I don't know what that is. Oh, here we go. I'll throw that up there, guys, just so if so you guys can kind of see what people are saying or whatever, instead of me like clicking on it, whatever. There you go. Quiet Order Gaming. You guys, everybody that's watching, go check out Tiki's crew over at Quiet Order Gaming. They kind of do kind of like a what would it be like a blog, not a blog. What do you call it? Vlog or something like a live vlog. You guys talk about the industry and like what you're into gaming and shit. I think the couple of videos I watched with you guys were talking about like 40K and stuff. Man, all sorts of crazy shit going on Games Workshop. Jeez. All right, I got some demos. It's sweet. You got to corrupt people into the weird war, dude. I had a guy. There's a new I think there's a new YouTube or not YouTube Facebook group. They go K47 group, and this I guess this guy started. He's trying to get some action or whatever, and he was asking like, what's your community like? I'm like, I tell you, it's hard to bring the historical gamers into the weird side of history, and it's hard to bring like sci-fi and fantasy gamers into a quasi history game. But when you get those guys to take the chance, they'll fucking love it. They'll eat into it, and they'll buy it, and they'll get into it. You just got to get them to the table. In my experience, most war gamers, when they play it, they'll probably dabble in Weird War in one way or another. So you just got to get them to the table and then play that fucking awesome game. Because Weird War 2 is awesome. And once you do, you got hooked. You got they've been snared. But yeah, I need to play, man. I got the K47 rule book. I they have a third edition of the Bolt Actions coming down the pipe pretty quick. I'm wondering if they're going to do an updated version of K47. If they're smart, I mean, just as a marketing stance, they should just meld those two rule books together. You know what I mean? And then just, in the K47, just have supplements of like the weird, aspects of these armies. So I think that would bring these bolt action gamers into it if they didn't have to buy, and not like they have to buy a new system or a new book or anything, but if it's all just using the exact same rules, and then like the special rules, you get like your army book or the supplement that gives you all the special weird war rules or whatever, then there you go. I think you would more historical gamers be inclined to just walk into a K47 game because they know the rules, they know the mechanics already, and then like the only modifications or they might have to learn is what a werewolf does, special is for a werewolf. That's it. Whatever. So yeah, I think if they kind of got all that shit lined up, together in the same mechanics. 'Cause I think the K47 rules are better than the bolt action ones. I think the special like activations, yeah, I think they're better. They're better written. They make more sense. But yeah, it is. I mean, it's just. I mean, and then technically, if you got, if you got a vampire mod, you know, you got these historical guys, and they might have like some zombies from a different game. They're like, shit, man, let's throw some zombies on the table for our bolt action game. When we already know how to use them, because whatever. There you go. Don't need to don't need to have a separate game system. You just have, you know, whatever. But some Warlord also needs to do to stop shooting themselves in the foot is bring those damn prices down. Bring those prices down. My God, K47 stuff is expensive. Woo. Yeah, that's the one thing I do like templates. I do like templates. Now, even in bolt action, templates are kind of wonky because, like, if they don't hit, they just vanish. They like that's dope. I mean, they need to deviate and land wherever it lands because that's. I mean, mortars. I mean, good enough with a mortar is almost good enough. You know what I mean? You know, so you don't have to hit a target directly with a mortar to actually cause damage. So, I think I think they should revise that rule system. Anyway. Yeah, the close combat stuff's good. And then the reaction fire, the reaction um, special actions or whatever for like reaction fire is pretty good too. But yeah, I mean, again, I'm not a huge. I mean, I play my own system, but it's a good system. It's quick. It's easy to learn. You don't need. It's nothing like complexity for like as a 40K. With like even all the special rules aren't like really super heavy. Like you need like a codex to know them all. It's not that heavy. It's just some tweaks in the rules and like whatever. But I'm telling you, man, they have got to get those prices down. My God. I mean, I I watched the video. Some guy was talking about K47, and he was saying like some like he showed an example like the big I think it's the big Soviet tank. It might have been the big German tank, Walker tank. Was like $80 or maybe 80 pounds. My God, that's like a Land Raider price, man. If you're trying to push a niche genre, then you got to make those models affordable, dude. Whew, that's pricey, 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 pricey. But I don't know. I'm a cheapskate, so have you got a 3D printer yet, bro? You need to if you have it. You need to get, man. They're fucking phenomenal. Oh, you waiting for? Oh, well, that's yeah. Hell, Amazon sells everything. And you can always use proxies, There's all sorts of cool walk. I'm a big fan of the dust walkers. I think they're the best walkers in the genre. And you can like if you have a 3D printer, you can get all that stuff free, if not really cheap. The STLs and print as many as you want. But yeah, it's like a 35, 40. I mean, that's a decent price for, you know, like like a Warhammer type unit. But man, you know, you can get like a 148 model kit off the shelf in a model store for like $20. So that's what I'm thinking, man. Just price of the sell. Shit. I mean, you guys are making money. But and they haven't really been coming out with new stuff. I unofficially I talked to, I won't say who it was because he told me not to tell anybody, but I'll tell you what we talked about, but not who he was. Um, they were talking about kind of rewriting the history and the lore and everything for the game to make it more grim dark, right? Kind of more 40K-ish. Not in the future, but like, really grim and dark and whatever to kind of the people that are used to the 40K-ish stuff would be more inclined to like, oh yeah, that's grim dark. It's just set in World War II. Yeah, that's true. I mean, there is some level of modulation right there. You can like, pop off that turret and use it in a bolt action game and then stick it on. And it's true. I like the I like some of the ideas, like the Germans having that like gravity well type projector thing. That's pretty cool. The the Japs got like the sonic weapons. That's cool. I uh I made that kind of I made a bunch of that. I made rules up that for all that stuff and when and for my system a while back, but it's cool to just see the take on like, how they do it. Okay, you do Japanese, that's cool. Yeah, the Japanese got some sweet stuff. Those guys that like phase through shit. That's sweet. And then I love the the first Mark 1 version of the Soviet power armor. It's just like it looks Soviet. I wish they're a little bit bigger. They look kind of small for what they are, guys in suits. But I just like the kind of like just brute, simplistic, just kind of Iron Men suits. It's pretty sweet. They dig that. They do. Some paint here. Paint. Yeah, I've been working on. I need to get these finished. I've been working on these oh land like amphibious tractors. These German amphibious tractors. Need to. I mean, they're almost done. I just gotta do some highlights and some detail on them, and they'll be done. I got two of these. Pretty sweet. I need to finish those. You're playing Japanese, right, man? I got I can't remember what type tank this is, but one of these little tankettes. It's like I'm using it as a chemical sprayer. It's got like a nerd made this thing up. It's like it carries it's basically a chemical sprayer. So you can put whatever kind of chemicals you want in there. You could do like real world chemicals or weird war chemical like Nazi chemicals or some shit. Pretty cool. And the other weird war thing I got going on is I'm working on a dust walker. This is the I need to paint the chassis. This is a chassis of a Mickey. Pretty cool. And then here's like the turret for it. It's one of those. It's almost like the Priest, not the Priest, the Scott. It has like the short 75 howitzer on it. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I mean, I can't remember what tractor it is. I think you might be right. It might be a Type 94. I can't remember what it is. It's just one of the small. Technically, it's just got like a single machine gun on it, like a two-man single machine gun on it. The one cool thing about early war gaming, one of the reasons I like early war gaming is that the technology, like the war technology, isn't quite there yet. So everybody's on almost a level playing field. You know what I mean? Like, the tanks are relatively the same, lots of like really thin armor shit. There isn't a huge advantage. The advantage comes in tactics and like, maybe air power and shit like that. But like early war, you don't have these heavy armor. I mean, some of them did, but not in mass, mass units or whatever. But yeah. Yeah, I love armored cars and tankettes, man. They're a lot of fun to play. They're fast. That's the whole thing. They're fast and small, and you can't. You got to play them like that. You got to run around. You got to find that cover and hide behind shit. Race, dart between scenery, and when always get in the flanks or the rear. And it was so funny. I was playing a bolt action game. The last bolt action game I played. I mean, it's been a while. I did one of those flank marches where you can, flank the sides. And I had two Japanese armored cars, with the twin like Vickers on them. I think it's an old Rolls Royce armored car, but the Japanese were using it. But anyway, I like flanked them, and the guy like I told him I was doing a flank move, and I don't know if he understood what it meant or whatever, because like he didn't do any preparation for like defense against it. And then like the third turn or whatever, I came on right behind his front. I just waxed him. He's like, "What was that?" I'm like, "Dude, I told you I'm doing a flank move with these units." He's like, "Huh?" I guess he's never seen it happen. But anyway, yeah, I got right behind. I think I was playing like Soviets or something. And he had just blocks of infantry, just massive infantry. He didn't have any. I think he had a couple armored cars, but they were already destroyed by the time my flankers got into play. And I just massacred. But yeah, it was pretty interesting. Fun. But yeah, I just put up a Dust game. It's funny because like I like Dust. I love the minis and the tanks and shit. The game plays like a board game. At least Dust Tactics. I haven't played Warfare yet, like on the channel. I played it before. It's more of like a traditional war game. But but yeah, this Dust Tactics plays like a board game, so it's real easy and it's a less fun to play. But it's really not. I'd rather play something with more meat and bones on it. Yeah. Oh yeah, the Reki rules. Yeah. Oh my god, I remember first edition. Before they, changed it up, the Reki rules. Holy shit, man! That's all you would take are Reki vehicles. Yeah, they're awesome. You just dart back whenever you wanted to. But then they changed it to where like you could only do it if they haven't done an activation yet or some shit like that. I think the second edition changed it up, which makes sense. I mean, I really don't get the mechanic. I mean, I get the mechanics of it as a recce vehicle being doing that or Constance vehicle doing that, but I mean, most vehicles could like get the fuck out of Dodge if they had to. I think the reverse. I mean, I would think the only vehicles that should get the recce rules are like the forward and rear facing positions. Like the Germans had it, and I think the Italians had it. Um, I know the Brits had that with the Archer, which designed that like the gun was out the back, but the driver was in the or the gun was out the the gun was out the back and the driver was facing so like they shot from the rear of the vehicle. And then the driver can drive off real quick or whatever because he's facing the other direction. Stuff like that. But and almost anything can be. I mean, half track should have recce. Um, most armored cars should be recce. Some tanks, like light tanks, were used in reconnaissance roles and shit. But anyway, I don't know. It's a game. You gotta make it. You gotta make those army lists unique in some way. Again, I'm printing all this shit up. I don't even know what I got. I got this crazy, look at this damn thing. It's like a Venus fly trap, big ass, like, I don't know, it's just a big old plant with mouths and tentacles and all sorts of shit. It's fucking awesome. I don't even know what I'm gonna do with all this shit. Crazy. I love it. Yeah, man. If you could print up anything you wanted, pretty much what I'm doing. I was just like, because I'll find a use for this stuff. We just gotta find a use for it. Oh man, yeah. What kind of cape are you? Are you Are you intro playing at gaming cons or like stores or just at your house or something? That's one thing about around here. No one's interested in Weird War at all. Fucking at all. Or at least they don't want to play with me. That could be a possibility. Most of the gaming here is historical. The old timers are playing lots of historical shit. And the new guys are obviously, they're playing 40K and like Magic and shit. Just that's none of that shit's my cup of tea. Oh, that's cool. You got a shop. That's sweet. Yeah, we got this new. It's funny. There's a new game shop around here. It just opened up. Oh yeah, that's cool. Shit, man. Should be 40K's killing themselves. They just raised the fucking prices again, man. I mean, I don't get it. I don't. First of all, I don't know why you guys are willing to pay those prices. It's not like, look, I was sitting here, I'm trying to be critical thinking here, right? Trying to be fair. I'm thinking here, it's like, why, okay, if you play 40K, why are you loyal to GW, right? Why? Um, you know, you agree to play with their game, you agree to play, let's say if you play the the tournament circuit or whatever, you agree to only buy their figures and all that shit, and but then like they keep fucking you. You just raise the prices. They don't give a shit. They just keep raising the prices, or they do away with your army, or there's no loyalty from them on the gamer. They're changing the lore. They're getting political. They're just trying to pander to whatever they're fucking trying to pander to. Um, and they keep raising prices. It's just like, why would you support a company like that? I just, I mean, I left Games Workshop in the '90s, in the early '90s. After second edition, I was done. So I've been out of their sphere of influence since a good portion of my gaming experience. So I mean, I started with 40K. I started like the traditional miniature wargaming in 40K, the Rogue Trader, and it just changed. It wasn't when second edition. So Rogue Trader slowly turned into second edition over the years. So I was buying into that, and then second edition, I enjoyed it, but it was different from Rogue Trader. And then third edition came out, it's completely different. I'm like, okay, I'm done. It's not what I want to play. No one wants to play the old shit. They want to play the new stuff. I don't know. Yeah, and dude, you're right about that. The sunk cost thing, it is a fallacy, man, because there are so many other rule systems out there that you can use all your shit for. Like the one page and the Xeno rampant and like just shit. I mean, you can go back to the '80s and '70s. You got like, was it Star Killer and or whatever, Star Infantry, whatever. There's tons of sci-fi like skirmish level and like just full combat games out there. Or hell, you can just get another game system, or just use old fucking 40K. Just play Ninth Edition. I mean, if that's what you got into, don't buy into this bullshit where you gotta fucking buy all brand new or the new. Man, just play what you want. I just don't get it. I mean, it's so weird. And it was funny because that new game uh, store I was telling you about. I walked in, I was talking to them, whatever, and they were talking about, oh yeah, we're gonna have some tournaments, but not all the models are out for these army. I'm like, dude, you're running the tournament, bro. Just don't fucking worry about it. If people want to, use proxies or third party shit, let them. Let them. Charge them a fee at the door. It's like $10 to do the tournament. You can the winner gets the purse or they get a discount or whatever the fuck. And then, but the thing is, you're making your money on the admission fee, not selling this GW shit that no one can fucking afford. I don't get it. Yeah, Zona Alpha, yeah. Dude, I mean, and you don't even have to use sci-fi shit or near future stuff. You can use World War II, you can use bolt action, fucking just Land Raiders, a fucking heavy tank, or whatever. You just come up with your own shit, or just come up with your own fucking. That's what I always encourage everybody to do. Just make your own rules. Just make up your own system. And like this whole idea of people like, oh, well, what if I want to go to the game store and play a game before? Dude, that's bullshit. No one ever goes to a game store and just hope that there's a game that they can a person they can hook up with and play. That's bullshit. That's very rare. I mean, it's happened before, but very rare. You normally organize your buddies to meet up and do that kind of shit. Or there's like, hey, it's bolt action day, come up and play. That kind of shit. It's not like you just show up at a game shop and there's gamers there, so you gotta all know the same rules. That's bullshit. I mean, I've let people play that have never played a war game before in their life. Like I've done that with bolt action. Yeah, dude, come on, you want to play? You want to play? Oh, I don't know anything about it. That don't matter. Here, who you want to be? Oh, you want to be with the King Tiger? Rocking, man. I'll tell you what to do. That's it. Shit. But this idea that we all have to be on the same page or the same rule system, man, that's bullshit. Yeah. I mean, we used to like in back in the day in second edition, we had some local shops that would have tournaments like every month. They would because they were buddies, but they had different stores. Like one weekend they'd have a tournament over here, and then 2 weekends later the this guys or whatever. And that was cool for us, man, because we were all like, we were all playing 40K and we and they made like house rules, like if there were wonky rules or some shit, we just like that makes no sense or it's broken. There's that. So you in house you can audit shit if it's like outrageous. And again, if you don't agree to it, then you don't play that. That's fine. I don't get it. I really don't. I don't understand the. But geez, it's like and honestly, I think a lot of it has to do with addiction. It's the addiction. I shouldn't say addiction. It's the collector mentality. I think a lot of people have become collectors more than they have become gamers. They want a game, right? They want a game and they mean to game, but the time or the money, the time and money investment to actually game is probably a lot more than a lot of people think. But like you said, they like the lore. They like collecting the toys, the vehicles are cool, all that kind of shit. But I don't know, man. It's not enough for me. Man, I mean, if I want the lore, I'll just read the books. You know what I mean? Just read the shit. They got a million novels about 40K. I'll just read that shit. I'm not gonna play their fucking game for the lore because you don't get the lore in the game mechanics. Not at all. Shit, it's crazy. Oh hell yeah, yeah, dude. Like in my game, anything goes. Like in my battleground Weird War II, anything goes. Like if you kill the crew, like if like a tiger's crew bails out and runs off or whatever, Well, they don't just disappear. They actually run off into the bushes until they can rally, and then they can remount the tank if they can get their shit together. But in the meantime, you're American infantry, and you like get in the tank. They run up there, they get in the tank. There's some modifiers because first it's called unqualified. They just don't know how to work it, right? They don't. I mean, you can shoot a gun, right? You can man the machine guns and shit. That's no problem. But when it comes to actually like turning it on and driving it around, there's penalties for the unqualified crew to do all that shit. But they can still do it. So yeah, man, we're all into like pilfering the battlefield. Like in my game, when people get killed, you knock the mini over. It doesn't vanish. You can pilfer the dead. You can take their weapons and their grenades and all that shit. And like if it's if it's a machine gun from another country, more than likely you're gonna be able to operate it if you're a machine gunner in your country. But if it's like some like laser carbine, there's penalties because you're not you get that unqualified again because you don't know what a fucking laser carbine is and quite how it works. You might be able to shoot it a couple times and then you don't know what to do because it's not working or whatever. But yeah. Oh, there's some K-47 novels. I didn't know that. That's cool. Are they any good? I enjoy reading like I don't read as much as I used to, but I read shit thousands of comic books growing up, war books and weird books and all sorts of shit. And I was huge into the old pulp men's magazines back in the day. I used to read all that shit, twist and warp my brain. I loved it. There you go. Yeah, I mean, and the jam doesn't necessarily mean it's like jammed. It's like they're just not quite sure how it work, or they're like fumbling with like loading it, or they're not quite sure. Man, I don't know if you've ever like an M2. You gotta fucking line up that fucking spacing on that goddamn gun. If you don't know how to do it, it's a bitch. Because I've done it, and it's a bitch when you know how to do it. But yeah, it's just like it's stuff like that. It's just like those nuanced things that you're not quite sure about that you might be fiddling with that just prevents you from shooting at that moment. Oh, that's all female unit, really? In Canada? I mean, I don't know. Canada didn't have a big population to begin with. Yeah, I can see that. I mean, I don't have any problem. I've got Mel's made a whole. We have an infantry platoon of all female Soviets, and that's the story. It's like manpower shortages. Yeah, there you go. Women are technically smaller. Oh, good. No Mary Sue's. Yeah, man. Because I light up her Soviets on the battlefield just as much as I would a man army. But that's cool. I don't have any problems having like female warriors on the field. A lot of mine are like, the pulpish, grindhouse kind of female warriors. But just having them in normal clothes is fine too. But yeah, I enjoy it. I just like the thing about Weird War is just it's just so damn diverse, man. You can do anything with it, anything you want. You don't have to justify anything. You don't have to explain anything. It just is. It's just the weird of it all. But yeah, dude, if you don't man, you gotta get a 3D printer, brother. Get a 3D printer. Seriously, dude. It's just amazing. So all this bullshit I don't need, but I mean, the God, if I ever do need it. And like if you do want to get into 40K, like if you want 40K stuff, all those STLs are out there. And I'll leave the morality to the fucking people involved. If you want a land raider, you know, it's up to you. If you want to go buy it for $100 or you want to go download an STL for it for free, That's totally on you. I could care less either way. You know, just roll some dice with it and have fun with it. That's all I want to do. Oh, that's sweet. Man, is it a filament or is it a resin? Dude, you gotta get like this, man. This is a all this shit is that's a 3D printed. That's a filament. It's not all that great, but all man, almost everything I have is resin. Like those resin walkers I've got. Those were all those dust walkers I just finished painting. Those are all resin. Dude, it's awesome. If you're into, I know you're into other genres. Man, I'm like, if you go to cults, look up Fallout, dude. There's so much Fallout shit. Like, you know, they have all the characters and all the monsters, those weird cockroach things. They got all the different like power armors and what was the weird thing? This one guy did like all of the it's like the propaganda poster guy. You know, he's like always, you know, don't step on a bug because they'll eat your face off. You know, whatever that guy is, the Fallout propaganda guy. He did like a whole like slew of like different kind of, you know, whatever in STL. It's pretty cool. Oh, there you go, Crimson Sky. Right on. Man, I haven't played that in forever. That was a fun game. That was real fun. Never like the whole armor of Zeppelins. I don't know. I still wouldn't think those things would make it very long, but it's a cool setting. Thinking of like, you know, those independent units or independent like firms flying around doing their shit. That's cool. But that's what's cool, man. I mean, playing Pulp Weird War, man, shit. You can have, you know, third parties, you know, mercs or pirates or whatever, do whatever. Like in my game, I made a Hydra list, and I don't follow Hydra like in the fucking movie. This is dumb. I follow Hydra like in the comics, but back in the day. But basically Hydra's like underground, and it's almost like a French Foreign Legion where it's like soldiers from various armies who don't want to fight and die for a cause or a country or wherever the fuck they want to fight for money. So they'll join Hydra. They'll you know escape their units and they'll join Hydra. And because Hydra is on the down low and they don't have a lot of stuff, a big thing with them is like looting battlefields, like after battle to get equipment and whatnot. And but they also have super tech and shit. But they're like always small forces because there's just not a lot of them yet. But yeah, it's just cool to have a third party just pop up out of nowhere in your battle. And like, what the fuck? Like they want, let's say you field one of your big tanks. Let's say the Japanese are fielding one of their brand new big walkers or some shit. Well, Hydra's like, oh shit, we want that. We need to, you know, reverse engineer that shit so we can start making it. So like a third party automatic, you know, they pop out of nowhere and they got like some super tech, like maybe some like ion weaponry to kind of like fry shit, but not destroy it. And they like steal the walk. The whole mission is to secure that walker and get it off, you know, so they can do it. Or Cobra or Nod, yeah, just like that, dude. Hell yeah. Man, if I played 80s like era, I would totally play G.I. Joe. I mean, you can get all that G.I. Joe shit on STL, man. It's awesome. His tanks, the fucking Cobra Rattler, was it the Sky Strikers, all the tanks and all the people and shit. It's awesome. I was a huge G.I. Joe fan. I went from Star Wars to G.I. Joe, man. Right when G.I. Joe appeared, see you, Star Wars. It's G.I. Joe for me. Love good times. Whew. And the comics were epic. Man, Hama, when he wrote those comics, oh man, Larry Hama is the shit. I met him a few times at the conventions. That guy is so awesome. He's so cool. He's just like a dude. You can talk to him about anything. He's just mellow guy and he's awesome. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I had it all, man. I think I collected G.I. Joe until like I don't know, I want to say like phase 4, 3. when they started getting like day glow colors and stuff, I wasn't into it anymore. I was comic books and wargaming. I really kind of took over my life after that, and then girls, comics and wargaming. The MOBA, yeah, that's awesome. Now I used to, me and my best friend, we used to be huge paintball guys. I had my first paintball gun was a what was it? It was an autococker, and he bought a mini mag, and my autococker was badass, but man, it took so much to work on that fucker that I ended up buying a mini mag too. We had nitrous systems. We didn't do CO2. We had nitrous. We had the agitators on our hoppers, and we had Radio Shack comlinks and smoke grenade. Oh man, it was a fucking blast. It was a lot of fun. I had a PGP, little pump action pistol as my backup if I my gun fouled. Oh, that's great. It's nothing better than sitting across a field. You know, the fields that we played in were like really heavily wooded and all the scenery and terrain. They built buildings and all sorts of shit all over it. It wasn't open field like in the tournament games. Now, I remember there was this one part in the field where you could stand on top of this hill and they couldn't, from where you like the enemy would be initially, they couldn't shoot them. It falls short right where you're at, but you could arc that shit and just go pop, and it would just like mortar right on their heads, man. That was great. Good times, good times. Whew. Yeah, I've been pelted by many a paintball fight, and that the reason we stopped playing it wasn't because of the gun, the price of the gun. It was the damn paintballs, man. We would buy a case of paintballs each, right? And we had fast shooting guns, right? We could shoot through a box of paintballs in fucking one game if we wanted to. But it was like 80, $90 a case for we got the Schrader paintballs. Those were the good ones. They would rarely break in your gun when they get shot. But man, it just got more. It's like it was 80 and then it was 90 and then it was 110 and I'm just like, fuck, can't afford this sport anymore, dude. It's too damn expensive. But yeah, that was a lot of fun, man. We did that for like we did that for like probably almost 10 years, man. That was a lot, and we saw how that changed. That yeah, that changed in all this like tournament kind of play, fast shooter, just slinging paint. It wasn't so much about like sneaking around or having tactics. It was like tournament tactics. We just sling paint, move forward to the next thing. And anyway, it just didn't have the same appeal. Wow, paintball, that's cool. Yeah, I remember the field that we always go to was just it was cedar trees, man. That was it. Cedar trees and gullies. It was awesome. Woods ball. I'm not sure what that is. Is that like playing in like woods or something? I remember times where like, we would be, fighting and like, you know, I would have to go, rough, come over here and see if I've been hit because, they're shooting through the trees and the paintballs are just breaking. And they're just kind of splattering you. And, he would look, he would like get in front of me and any time like to keep the guys from shooting where I was at. And then he'd get down and he'd look to see if there's any like actual like, paint and ball material like on my, whatever. And if there wasn't, if it was just paint, you're fine. It's just splatter. But yeah, I remember that shit. I remember me and my friend, we always like to get like cool shit. Like we got smoke grenades. And we tried to mess with those paintball grenades, but they didn't work worth a shit. But it sounds cool. But it was almost like it was almost like a water bottle, like kind of ladder. You would throw it and go. It wasn't like it didn't like blow up. The ones that we had, I mean, they might have different kinds, but the smoke grenades were a lot of fun. We would smoke the whole fucking forest, man. It was a lot of fun. People running into each other and like that was a lot of fun. I remember our field. every once in a while they would have this game where like one team would have a tank, and they built some sort of like go-kart tank, and the tank didn't shoot anything. It was just kind of, it was like an APC or something. But the whole idea was to, like, destroy it, and you had to like, we had like a, I think they gave us a dozen water balloons that had like a certain kind of stain, like color, and if you got that on the tank, it was destroyed or some shit like that. But you had to get pretty close to throw it at it, and that was a lot of fun. Remember seeing like bazooka paintball guns and shit. It's just silly. It was good. It was good fun. Good times. Well, most of the paintball community is pretty cool. Yeah, you had your assholes, but you got that everywhere. But yeah, for the most part, it was a lot of fun. Well, guys, it's about that time. It's good talking to everybody. Good talking to you, Tiki man. You know, I'll keep my eyes peeled for some new Conflict 47 stuff on your channel. If shit, do some battle reports, man. Let's check it out. But yeah, I gotta go for work tomorrow. So, all right, guys. Well, for the four people watching, I appreciate you coming by. Tiki, it was great talking to you. If you ever want to like get on and like actually talk via camera, feel free. Just let me know, dude. But everybody go swing over to Tiki the Hut's channel. Awesome channel. That's Weird War, and he's a big Fallout guy. So if you're into K47 and Fallout, go check him out. His crew also has the let me double check it. What it was called again? It was called Open. Sure, let me find it. Ah, here we go, guys. It is swing over to that place, the Quiet Order Gaming. So check it out. They talk about all sorts of cool shit. Bunch of cool dudes, bunch of gamers talking gaming. All right, guys. Whatever you guys do, keep it weird. Take it easy, guys.